Welcome back, everybody, to the UR Pod Usage Rate. I'm Hughesy, coach of the Cashews.
Darey, coach of the Zinger Boxers.
And Baz, coach of the Clint Stein Daddies.
Give us a bit more excitement, mate. Try again.
Well, I was going to say my name was Clint, so that's why I wasn't too excited. So I was just reading it in front of me. So, Baz, coach of the 86th ranked team of the week, Clint Stein Daddies.
Yeah, it's very nice. Shout out to Jimmer and the Hot Sauce crew, UR15, the code. Go and get yourself some late Christmas goodies if you haven't done your shopping already because you're too unorganised. I know you love a shout out, Darey, and Baz has already shouted himself out. Our man Clint, nothing but string.
He's fifth.
Fifth overall, 146 behind the leader, and had 414 for the week.
So he's fifth, and he's 146 behind.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep. That. what's his name?
Brad Zalewski.
Oh, Brad Zalewski. He's dominating.
He's out and about.
So, what did you score for this week, Baz?
I think I'm looking at it correctly. I've had to look a few times. I scored 407.
7 behind Clintos.
Yeah, I know. And I would like to add that I had Josh Roberts. We'll talk about that later.
Round above it.
Season ranking. Obviously, I said goodbye last week, and I've said hello again today. So I'm back in the top 1,893. So I'm back.
On you, Barry. So you went up 242 spots. If
Yeah, I did.
Correctly.
That is correct.
You had a bloody good week, mate. 407. You'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I was. Could have been better. But
until the podmaster shafted you and didn't tag you.
Yeah, I was a bit flat on that. But then old mate seems like such a good fella that when you mentioned it, he was sorry guys, sorry. Didn't mean to. And I felt like replying to him and saying, mate, it's the first time I've been in there. It's probably the only time, so don't worry if you made a mistake there. What are we, round 10 and I'm only...
You never see me again.
How'd
you go, Derek?
Well, I actually get sick of being tagged into Podmasters fucking... I'm in there every week, so... but...
Mate, you're the only one out of us that dropped this week.
Yeah, dropped 3 spots. 224. Scored 367, had Mitch Creek, and... I also had J-Rob as well. So to come out of it only dropping 3 spots is pretty bloody good. Pretty bloody good.
Happy with that? Yeah. So what are you at? 224 now overall?
Yeah, 224.
Yeah.
Pretty shit.
1,000 spots out of me.
Just before you keep going, can you swap hats with Darey for me? You're wearing the current Big Bash run scorer hat, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm wearing the leading hat. This week. Yeah.
That should be.
This wouldn't fit on your head, Darey.
I don't think it would either. No, I definitely wouldn't.
I had 365 this week, so Darey beat me by 2. I also had Mitch Creek, but I went up 73 spots to a rank of 1,262.
Oh my lord!
Going in the right direction. I'd look at some teams around the 700 mark, and I don't know how they're ahead of me. I really don't.
Yeah, well, I do because I've scored more points than you.
Yeah, I know. Every pod that matters has been shitouts, but anyway.
You are trending in the right direction, though.
Yeah, that's all we can ask, I reckon. I did say to Darey before, Baz, but if it gets to round 15, I'm still not in the top 1,000. I'm trading in for, who was it? Illawarra, Melbourne, New Zealand, and Perth. All have a double in the last week. I'll be filling up with them, trying to win a prize.
Not a bad shout.
Let's get on to the brickies. Who you got, Darey?
Mitch Creek's knee.
Just his knee?
Yep. That's why he was injured, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
Actually,
yeah. He had a bad knee. So, probably cost me a good 20-odd points and probably cost me 3 ranking spots as well. So, who knows? Yeah, Mitch Creek this week for me. You?
Yep. I had Creaky as well.
Yeah.
It was bound to go to shit when I bought him in, so I'll just let everyone know who I'm going to trade in next week tonight. Just avoid those players.
Okay.
I'll tell you when we get to the trades. Baz?
Yeah, I've told a few people about the J-Rob story and they all thought it was pretty hilarious. But yeah, my bricky's J-Rob again. -1. And
J-Rob.
the only positive is that I had him on my bench. So his -1 became a 0. So that's the only positive that I've got out of it. I just don't understand. He played so well against Melbourne, against JLA, and did a fantastic job holding down the centre spot. But they've seemed to have gone to Menenga. Obviously he can shoot the 3 ball, and he had a pretty promising week, and he's a little bit cheaper as well. But what was really interesting was I thought he might actually line up against Brisbane with like the Rocco, Baines, and Harrison lineup. I thought that he might be a shout, but Cairns only ran an 8-man rotation, so they just shafted.
I literally caught the last 14 seconds of that game.
And you've seen Mitch Norton not getting off in time.
So you watched the full game?
I watched bits and pieces.
Did you watch it, Barry?
Falling asleep.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I watched it.
Brisbane play zone match?
Nah, not really, not at all.
I feel like the games that I've watched since the Melbourne game or Cairns Melbourne game, teams have thrown zones at Cairns, and it's really limited the effectiveness of Pat Miller and then J-Rob as well.
He can't shoot, unfortunately, J-Rob. We can't shoot anywhere outside the key.
Outside the restricted zone.
Yeah.
I wonder, he's an import. Why you don't pay imports to sit on the pine?
No, that's terrible. When I said that he didn't actually play, I assumed I looked for injuries. I couldn't see anything, and to finish the weekend with -1 really cooked some teams.
Well, you got 0.
But there's actually 2 positives from it. One, I think obviously 40 doesn't trust a J-Rob because he didn't play him in the last one, which was thankful for the owners, because if he played, he would have dropped even more. So thankful that he only played the 1 game and was shit. But at least he didn't sneak on in some garbage minutes and play 2 minutes and put up 2 or 3 points, and then it dropped down probably another 30K. So
that's made me get Galloway. If he had played, I wouldn't have got Galloway.
Oh, so really? Yeah, right.
Definitely not.
He didn't do what really did to Henshaw the other night. Played him for 3 seconds at the end. He dropped 14K. Righto. Heroes. I went Source this week. Obviously, bought him in the week before. I had him as my top captain. I was happy enough with what he did. I had him as a projected 64, and he got 67. So
considering in one of the games he was like 4 for fucking 17 as well.
Yeah, he wasn't great in that first game, but he did enough to get the double and
didn't shoot very well. But my hero was Tyler Harvey.
You've hit another cashy.
I have, yeah. Brought him in and knew he had a double coming up, and schedule gets pretty good. So I thought to myself, and they have been using him a fair bit. They've been running him and Froling as their main guys, and I didn't think he would have 25 and 5. But
he shot the piss out of it, didn't he?
33 off the bench, and that's a very, very handy little addition to my team.
Yeah. Yep.
And with the double coming this week, who knows? Could be 60.
Yeah. Who have they got this week? Matchups. We might get to that a little bit later on.
That's part of it.
Yeah. What do you got, Barry?
Well, my hustling hero is obviously the captain of the new society that I've made up, which is the NAWAS, which is the Non-Alan Williams Owners Society. And I'm proudly part of that group, owning JLA as my little pod. And he scored 79, and he was my captain. Highest scorer of the round. He's done it again. So yeah, he's my hero.
Put on his fucking chest, doesn't it?
So if you had Source instead of JLA and you captained him, you would have been 24 points worse off, which would have pulled you would have beat Darey by 16.
Exactly, but instead I beat him by a little bit more. That's why he's my hero. They do that little bit extra.
And Baz is playing chasings to me. He wants to catch me before the end of the year.
And I'm screwed this week, but we'll get to that later.
We actually were talking about that.
Yeah, we were.
Before you jumped on.
I'm very excited to see what you do this week, Baz. You're gonna
Aren't
You
we
got to buy
all?
a boost. Imagine if
No.
that's the thing. Like on my
Cool.
team, you can just
I'll
buy the
buy
best,
boosts.
buy the best cards. Yeah,
I'll
same.
be bankrupt.
So Illawarra.
But you have to use your salary to buy a boost, not actual.
Yeah,
I
you
would
should
do
be
it.
able to do it. 50K for a boost.
Yeah, 50K boost.
So Illawarra got Tassie and Sydney this week.
Okay, so he may have a little bit of a tough run, but
Well, Sydney are a dark green team there for guards.
yeah.
So
They did a good job on Crawford though.
second easiest team to score against for guards.
They look so much better with Jalen Galloway out there, Sydney.
Oh yeah, ridiculously better. Let's have a look at trades. Very interested to hear what Baz has got in the pipeline.
Do you want to go first, Cam?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I can go first. I've been playing around with it. My most recent trade.
Talk about your trades, mate.
Yeah, I know. This is my most recent one that I've cooked up. I've been playing with it throughout the day. So I went Jonah Bolden out to
Out.
Sam Froling.
Yep.
To Sam
Hey, say that
Froling.
again.
I went
Out.
Bolden to Sam Froling and Roberts to Nick Marshall.
Oi, my man.
But I'm also flirting with the idea of out Patrick Miller in Jalen Adams, because if I don't think I do it this week, I won't be able to do it in 2 weeks' time. And then, yeah, the same trade with Roberts to Marshall.
Why
for
Marshall?
Because he's got a really good break even, and it's either him or Rub Your Tummy. And I'm a bit worried with Rub Your Tummy when Cheatham comes back.
Yeah, fair. That's where his minutes are
And
going
what's
to
the
go.
projected?
Well, I'd have to sub a few players on. Jonah Bolden, off you go, JLA, have a rest on the pine.
Good to see you prepared.
You come on for Travers. Jalen Adams, you can be my captain this week. 395.
Oh dear.
All right.
That's still a good score though. Anything towards 400 is pretty good.
Yeah. So what's your how much cash would you have after that?
88K, which gives me a bit of wriggle room to do something with old Flowers.
And what would your lineup be? On call.
McCall, Hogue, Bolden, Adams, and Crawford.
McCall, Hogue, Bolden, Adams, Crawford. Yeah, nice. Be interesting to see which trade you go out of. Bolden,
Yeah, who knows?
Miller.
I'm pretty happy because I've got all doubles this week, bench and
I'll
court.
tell you what, it's a good week to have it.
Yeah, so I've got all players playing doubles. My trades this week are Pinder in, Galloway in, Roberts out, and Creek out.
Bloody J-Rob.
J-Rob's been flicked for Jalen Galloway.
Yep.
And Jalen Galloway has a break even of 36, but he's plays 2 games. I dare say he'll go close to that, if not better it.
He'll score in the 40s.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He's still not on my court though.
Nah. He's not really a cash cow, but you're probably really getting him for the week after, aren't you?
Yeah, and then I've got McCall, Pinder, Williams with the captain, Miller and Crawford. And I'm still tossing up whether I bring Tyler Harvey onto that, but we'll see.
Yeah. And how much cash does that leave you with?
Not much, 3,000.
And
What?
projected?
Projected 500.
500.
500 on the dot.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
Down, Todd.
Tiger.
if I hit 500, I'll be stoked.
Baz, you're not catching him. Yours
No,
was
I'm not.
395.
Yeah, but I can tweak and change it. I can get that projected up. If I trade in Sam Froling, it gets better.
What two? You give us
412.
Hey?
412.
412. You're still 90 behind him.
Yeah, that's all right.
The projected's only projected.
As I know very well.
Projected's only projected.
Yes.
What if Canso play this week?
Well, let's talk about that.
That is a real possibility.
What did you say today? That got me giggling.
What?
About they found the solution. They're going to use the
Oh,
plate.
no, that was me.
That was him.
That was you, wasn't That was funny. After our discussion last week about the airport, and then this week, Cam's realised that in the course of a week, things can actually change with the weather. Right, I'm going to give you my trades. So I am going to go Creek and Clintman out, and I'm going to bring in Hogue and Galloway. And that leaves me with $91,700.
Okay, you've got cash.
I've got a lot of cash, but I don't have any boosts to be able to do something else.
Yeah.
It leaves me with a lineup on court of McCall, Hogue, Williams, Miller, and Crawford. Projected of 489.
Nice.
How many points am I behind you, Barry?
More than that.
Well, I think you were about 140 away from him. Or was he 100?
I'm 84 away from him.
And what was he away from me?
And I'm projected 96 more than you.
But he's 100 and
He's 152 away from you.
152.
So 200 after this week. 250 after this week.
If I do score 500 and don't go up, I think my team's officially done.
Go for the round 20 prize.
Like, I think my team's officially done from going up.
Yeah. Baz.
Yeah, I know.
I'd love to be sitting here next week in front of him.
Yeah, I'm a bit stuck as well. Like, I'm actually tossing up trading JLA too, because Melbourne's schedule it's not that favourable. Yeah, there's a lot of ones in
last week.
And you brought Travis in last week.
No, I've had 2 games of Travis.
Okay, 2 games. That's all right. 2
2 weeks of Travis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they have double both those weeks?
Yeah, they've come on.
They had double, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah. The next double for Melbourne's not till so they just played 2 there, and they go 1 next week, 1 the week after, when only 2 teams play the 1, so that's not that big a deal. Then they play the 2 in round 14. And then it's a lot of singles the rest of the way. So
are you confident with JLA's 1 score ability? Like, I've kept Alan Williams as a single game player for the majority of these weeks. Are you not confident with JLA's ability?
Well, I'm not really sure because of the Hook Porty factor, which is what I call it. And I just worry that the max minutes he's going to play is 25. Like, I just worry that he can play 25, Hook Porty can play 15. He's not going to play 35 minutes like Alan Williams is.
That's fair. That's fair. That's
Alan
good.
Williams gets the ball every single time goes down as well.
The HF. Game by game.
Yep.
Do you know do it quickly? So Melbourne destroyed Southeast.
How good are Melbourne?
Melbourne, if they don't win it, there's something going on.
Sydney were my clear favourites, but Melbourne have definitely just really done a number on everyone this year.
Yeah. So Creek went down. Ben Eyre was pretty good. He looked like he took majority of the minutes from Cummings. So we'll talk about that a bit later on in trade targets. Your boy Foxwell from the pre-season, Baz, had some good minutes.
Yeah, good shout out. You just got to give good things come to those who wait. If you obviously had him from the start, you're finally getting the rewards now. That's all I've got to say, man.
So 12 of 16, 4 of 17 shooting from the great Alan Williams. And he actually shot 3 3-point attempts, which I found strange.
He was weird. He was too hyped up, I think, for it. You know the inverted U hypothesis, Baz?
Yep.
He was far right on that.
Oh, geez.
Right. He was very aroused.
Fuck me drunk. JLA had 7 blocks.
Yeah, well,
yeah. It's just madness.
Yeah. New Zealand belted Cairns.
How boring was that game? I didn't even finish it. I fell asleep.
Yeah, well, Roberts was pretty good, -1. Meninga, Taz Armstrong helped himself stick around for a little bit.
He's still.
That was his best.
He
was good in that.
Yeah, he looks very, very under control with that second unit. Cairns really weren't very good in that game, were they? Finn Delaney pretty good.
He's had some good games, Finn Delaney.
Hmm.
And Anthony
Yeah.
Lamb, absolute jet.
He's so good, isn't he?
He's another one I'm a bit tempted to get on, the Finn Delaney one. It's either he's actually pretty cheap.
What's he?
Not much.
You'll be happy with the question that we've had come in for you, Baz, when we get to that segment.
Finn Delaney's 158k, so with a break even of 10.
Yeah, right. And he had 31 in that game. You still got Darey?
Yep.
Happy with his work?
Yeah, I am actually. As a bench player.
Hmm.
He 2 games this week for the big mango.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that
Juice him.
hey,
Juice him.
so hopefully you can get a 30 or so
Yeah.
for the weekend.
That Perth Tassie game was unreal.
Didn't
Friday
watch the back of my eyes with that one.
You watched it, didn't you, Barry?
Oh, yes, I did. And the Jackies, they should have won. There was an absolute robbery. Absolutely, they got.
No, if it
They
was.
just won.
Well, if I'm Tassie and seeing the ladder position, I'm happy to play Perth in playoffs, especially down here because it's cotton or nothing.
That's what he said too.
But
But
really,
so he had 28 of their 89 points.
But yeah, you're right. But he's such a vocal point for them, and
Yeah. But then if you
played 38 minutes, 55 seconds.
he does that every day though.
and he took 21 shots, the most comfortably on that team.
Yeah.
I just think if he doesn't play a good game, then Perth aren't winning. That's just how I look at it. Pinder's been nowhere near dominant this year, has he?
No, but he had a pretty good stat line for that game across the board: 15, 6, 4, 2, 3.
He's going from back to back to back.
Yeah, he wants that most improved.
He's going from back to back to back. So
Usher must just love playing Tassie. Not
Yeah.
that, but outside of Magnay, the Jackies really weren't that great, were they? McVeigh was quiet.
I
Lee
thought
was
Jordan
quiet.
Crawford was pretty good.
Oh yeah, points. Yeah, scoring the ball was. Yeah. He shot the ball well.
Milton Doyle made some big crucial mistakes, and I'm not gonna get into him too much because he's
had a rough couple of weeks.
He's had a rough go, but
He
and fouled.
Yeah.
He was very un-Doyle-like, but he'd flown from Chicago to Hobart, then Hobart direct flight to Perth, like within whatever time period that was, which I assume was only like pretty much touchdown Hobart. Wasn't there too long. Then he's on the flight to Perth. He must have been gassed. And Scotty Ross spoke about how proud he was that, and obviously planned only playing for 20 minutes in that game, and he got out of him. He played him for 32 minutes. So yeah, I reckon we'll see a big turnaround from Doyle this week.
Yeah, definitely. Jet lag. He would have definitely been jet lagged knowing that story.
Yeah.
After hearing that, I've had a jet lag story for the ages as well.
Yours right.
Your Bucks night,
yes,
followed by 3 straight. Plane ride straight to LA, plane ride straight to Vegas.
Yeah.
3 straight nights.
Big time.
Big time.
Yeah, so he scored 8 points in about a 2-minute span and finished on 10 for the game.
Yeah,
so,
it was in the second quarter.
Yeah. Illawarra, they're a playoff team, boys. I told you at the start of the season. It's like the Foxwell call.
This was how bad was Southeast Melbourne's weekend though?
What did you make? Did you guys watch that one?
No. Yeah, I watched it.
What did you think of the new import? Abdel Nader.
Well, I thought they were pretty dumb, actually, to be honest with you. They were getting absolutely belted. They got a Ferrari sitting on the bench there. Wouldn't you just say, here you go, mate? Just go and shoot every single time down the court.
I did go and see the highlights for this, and I actually don't mind his. He seems like he's going to be able to score the ball.
You know what, though, Darey? You say that, but he played 16 and a half minutes and he was a -24.
Yeah, the game was over.
There was one other player at a -24. It was Ben Air.
Doesn't surprise me.
Alan
I
Mitch with
guess
a
that.
33 points in 24 minutes.
Yeah,
He is
it's pretty standard, I reckon.
he's legitimate, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
very, very good.
Now, you spoke last week about Gary Brown, Baz, as a trading target. He shot 1 for 12 again.
Yeah, he's just. I had a look then. He's obviously just absolutely searching for a bucket, and he can't buy one. We spoke about buying boosts. He should spend his money buying buckets. Yeah, 1 for 12. He's doing all the other stuff though.
He's still
Yeah,
20. He's still scored 28.
One turnover.
He's ranked. His price is actually quite favourable.
I thought we talked about Gary Clark. I thought you said
Oh, Gary Brown.
Gary Brown.
What
Yeah,
is his
Gary
price?
Brown? He was 326 at the start of the week. He dropped down to 323. So he's in a nice little category of Goulding, the Silly Bitch, Doyle, Wiley, Sam
What did he break
Froling.
even?
For Gary Brown,
Yes.
57. So it's pretty sky high.
He's coming. He's coming down.
Yeah.
So he'll have a double this week, though.
Yeah, he could come out and drop 40 in a game this week. Illawarra. Now, Tyler Harvey.
Can play Tyler Harvey. I knew as soon as I did that, something good was going to happen.
Yeah, you absolutely kissed on the dick.
I
I'll
was
bring
one
someone
time.
in and they're shit ass.
Well, I brought the same people you brought in last week, and
Oh, last week, yeah.
one of them did turn to shit. So I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
I've learnt my.
So you're not bringing in Hogue or Galloway this week, are you?
I'm bringing in
No,
Galloway.
you are not anymore.
No, Galloway.
You stay away from Galloway. He's my boy.
Galloway needs to come in.
Gary Clark. He's a good basketball player.
He is.
Very good.
They run a lot through Harvey and Froling, but he just finds a way to get it done, doesn't he?
He's going to be a very nice pickup, and he's cheap.
What is he?
330.
Well,
He'd have a good break even, wouldn't he?
He's got a break even of 50.
Illawarra's schedule
2 games.
becomes pretty good soon.
Yeah.
He's going to be the player. Him and Froling. I know you've gone with Harvey, but my 2 out of that would be Froling and.
What about J-Rob?
Who?
J-Rob. Justin.
No, I don't trust him. No, I don't trust him.
Fair. I swear every time I look at the stats, Mason Peatling's line's actually pretty good.
Mason Peatling.
Yeah, I won't be touching him, but his line always looks all right.
One of the biggest dogs in the NBL, I reckon.
Yeah, he's a flog. We've already spoken about Melbourne. Adelaide have got the double next week, and they've got some real good break-evens, but we'll get to that with some questions. Humphrey, 5 blocks. He looks bloody good in that game, even though they got railed.
I reckon Humphries is actually having a pretty good year.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Steve.
Yeah. Silly Bitch was good. Trey Hill, Baz's bottom outs.
Yeah, well, has he touched his bottom yet? I think he has.
Definitely. He's got a negative break even now.
Trey Curl. It looks like he's got 3 L's at the end of his name.
He's got 5 L's.
Because he's the third.
No, he adds an extra run every time Adelaide play and lose.
They've not been good again.
He's on this 5 losing
But
streak.
it's funny. I actually enjoy watching them play.
Yeah, same. I agree with that. I like watching them play.
I reckon DJ is one of the best players to watch in that competition.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I've loved watching him play. Something always happens.
Small and Gladstone small.
But it's not so much that, it's just because he plays with so much arrogance and like he's got that real NBA charisma about him. Like,
he does.
It's
I like that he's not afraid to speak his mind either. A lot of people in the media smash him for it, but I think it actually brings character to the league.
a couple of things that he said are actually not that far off the money though.
No.
The travelling one, you kind of probably say toughen up a little bit, but like he's good.
You holding Flowers this week, Barry?
Yeah, I have to. It's just strange. He starts, so I just assume that he probably should really play more minutes. He played 12.
He got such a good score this week. If you had J.
Correct.
Rob,
He had the
Flowers,
Melbourne guys that no one else has.
and he had, I suppose he had JLA. That's it.
Yeah.
And Travis.
Jalen Adams, 10 assists is huge to get him to 44 for the week. And he had 2 late when Tassie were full pressing.
Yeah, he's a good in, I reckon.
Got an extra
I
9 points in the last minute.
remember when we used to have that segment like big call, and then you got rid of it because I stuffed it up 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
My big call will be Jalen Adams will be the first bloke to get a triple double in NBL SuperCoach.
Yeah, right.
He's going to have to do some more rebounding. I think Denzel Valentine's more a sniff.
He's been the closest, hasn't he?
Yeah. What the triple double is worth?
10 points.
10 points, is it?
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's so you get 5 for the double double and then you get an extra 5 when you get triple double.
That's 10. That equals 10.
Yeah, but you
So
don't
you
get
get
the
10.
additional 10 on top of the double double.
Oh. I
So
don't know if I like that.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
That's not, yeah, I suppose it makes sense though.
So Basil's called Jalen Adams triple double watch and he averages 3.6 rebounds.
Yeah, I was going to say his rebound is going to have to go up.
He'll pluck a few, don't you worry. You just watch. One game, it's going to happen.
Jack
Big
McVay was good in the second game, not great in the first game.
Yeah, he was.
Good at
Low
home.
turnover again.
Sean McDonald good all weekend.
He was. He's getting better. He used to suck on defense. Now he's good. And I think that's why he's playing a bit more.
I think
Yeah.
he's actually a better option than Anthony Drimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah. I'm
don't
a big
think-
dream.
You
I'm
don't
a
think,
massive
I reckon he'd be better suited coming off the bench, but anyway.
Two dog.
Yep.
dog.
Hogue was pretty good. Bowden, not real good, Baz.
Yeah, but he actually looks good on the court. And I just don't know why they don't play anymore.
You
But
know,
he has been prone to that all year though, hasn't he? The
Yeah.
real like no.
He's a roller coaster.
Like just yeah.
Yeah. It's all right.
Bannon
Two
was pretty
games.
good for Brisbane.
Fucking oath, Josh Bannon is so good.
Yeah.
He's one I'm going to start with next year, I reckon. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They'll probably be a team that goes to the NBA and for the preseason games, and you won't want them for the first 5 weeks.
But I'm big on Bannon. He's a double threat every game
Yeah.
too.
I wouldn't be surprised next year if no teams wanted to go to the States.
No, fuck that.
Both teams have been fucked by it this year. Adelaide were fucked by it last year.
But they need to do it not in season.
Oh, nah. No,
But
yeah.
they can't.
Right.
They need to do it before the season
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah, but they can't because that's just we work around what the NBA does.
Yeah.
Send them over for a pre-season.
Send
Behind
them over
post
for
ball bench.
Put them in the summer league. NBL All Stars in the summer league.
Yeah, don't mind it. Or NBL Next Stars or something like that in the
yeah.
summer league. Sobey was good, Barry. You spoke
Sobey was.
him in, didn't you? For this week?
Yeah, I did have him. I was 4K short of doing an unbelievable trade, and Sobey was part of that. I think that he might be part of it. Yeah, he's getting close to what we like to refer to as a Baz's bottom out. I think he's hit it. I think he's bottomed out. He was the top point scorer early in the season with scores of 83, 65. He's had a few duds lately. I reckon he's about ready to bounce back.
He's definitely ready to bounce back for a weekend.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But my question is, if you have a heap of trades, would you trade Jordan Crawford down to Sobey for an extra 60K?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jordan Crawford's break even's fucking high.
I would. Oh, it's not that high, is it? It's only it's like 60 or something, isn't it?
72.
Is it really? Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I would probably go Miller to Sobey rather than Crawford if you wanted to get some cash from it.
I'm a bit worried about Jordan Crawford's break even, but he's going to have to stay inside. I don't think he's reaching it or getting anywhere close to it, to be honest.
Righto, let's roll into some captains. I was pretty happy with my captain work last week, fellas. Did I mention it already or not?
You mentioned it before we went on the show.
Before. So last week had McCall projected 57, he got 61. JLA 58, got 79, and Alan Williams 64, he got 67. So I was pretty close.
You've done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And you got to top 3, didn't you?
Yeah, got the top 3 again.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get a hold of other people's captain choices and start to do a bit of math work. I reckon I'll be up there.
Did you want a good job, mate, for someone that seems not in the top 1,000?
It's called bad luck. So let's have a look at this week's. Now, we just spoke about this man, Jordan Crawford. Jordan Crawford comes in at number 3 this week. He has Illawarra, a light green team, and Southeast Melbourne, a light green team.
He's going to torch Illawarra.
Yeah, averages 31 against Illawarra and 41 against Southeast Melbourne. Hasn't played at Illawarra, but plays Southeast at home and averages 26.8 at home. He's got a last 3 average of 29.33. So I've got him as an expected score of 56. Then we got Bryce Cotton at number 2. He's got Melbourne, who are an orange team, and Cairns, that are a yellow team. Both those games on the road. Averages 37 against Melbourne, 44 against Cairns. 33.9 at John Cain Arena, 38 at the Cairns Convention Centre, and a last 3 average of 46. So a couple of big numbers in there. Gives him an expected score of 66. Then at number 1, got Anthony Lamb. He's got Sydney, a light green team, and then he's at Brisbane, which are a yellow team. He has not played against Brisbane yet at all. So average of 48 against Sydney, 33.7 at home. That's where they play Sydney. He's got a last 3 average of 38.12. So I've got him as an expected score of 66 as well. So Crawford 56, Cotton and Lamb both 66. And there's about 5 more guys that are between 55 and 51.
So there's not about there's a few to choose from this week.
Yeah, this week's a bit of a tricky one for that.
Baz is waving his hand.
I'll give you the next few. So we got Doyle, PJC, McCall, Adams, and Williams between 55 and 52. So the top 2 are not favourable with their schedule, but are for this week. Baz.
Yeah, my only question is if they end up going with my strategy with those airplanes, using them as boats, how's that going to affect it? Just say those Cairns games don't go ahead.
Yep.
That obviously rules out Cotton.
Yep. So you take Cotton out of that. Lamb doesn't have a Cairns game. Neither's Crawford. Neither's Doyle. Neither's PJC. Obviously impacts McCall. Doesn't impact Adams. Does impact Williams. So you would be looking at Lamb, Crawford, Doyle, PJC, Adams.
All right. Just a bit of food for thought, some would say, wouldn't they?
Well, it's only Monday.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of time to dry the airport up.
Yeah. And water does evaporate.
Does drain.
Does look wet up there, though.
Does. Cyclone.
Yeah.
So go figure.
Yeah, man, Brian Van Wick will be out on the boat catching all sorts of fish, I reckon.
Well, did you see the people? Did you see the people going and picking up all the dead barramundi?
No, that's brilliant. He's selling them cheap.
It's still not as bad as that fucking seal in Tasmania. Have you seen that?
It's gone viral.
Have you seen
viral?
That's
You said the video had 28,000 likes or something on TikTok.
There's guys that have got millions and millions, and this fucking seal just sits in the middle of the road and does not move.
It does absolutely. Did you Facebook status it and say that you want to go for a drive down and visit it?
I want to go and see this thing. And I want to go. I want to sit Tully next to it because it looks exactly like it.
Tully's Darey's dog. Just for reference, he doesn't have a pet seal. Righto, let's get to some questions now. Baz, you have a very dear friend named Richard or Chook who did my wedding video. Outstanding job, I might add. One of the great videos.
Richard's going pretty well.
He's dominating. So do you have the stats, Barry? If not, I do.
No, but was this my question, or was someone else giving Chook a shout out?
No, it's you.
Oh,
But
perfect.
we might have some things to add to it.
Yeah, no, you go. You go.
So he's 74th overall,
Yeah, I was going to say he's going well.
and he scored 413 this week, Daz.
Yeah, I know he beat me.
Did he have Roberts?
Don't know, mate.
So he was pretty good. He might actually replace you on the show one week, Baz.
It's different from a bloke that's I've got written
When
down
I
the rank.
overtake you, he will replace you. Darey, anything else to add on Mitch Creek? We had a few comments about Mitch Creek, and I know you were quite angry about it. So
I mean, look, injuries happen, but he can go get. No, he cost me big time. But he would have scored 50.
some would say we're up shit creek.
We're up shit creek.
We're down a paddle.
But no, I wasn't too disappointed with him because if he did play a second game, which he didn't, he probably still would have scored 50 for the week.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, which would have got us up around the 390-ish mark.
Yeah, yep. But it didn't. It didn't eventuate. My biggest problem was a 0 on the bench. It's hard to believe that so many people played Henschel for so long during were willing to take a 0 back then, but now it's almost ranking suicide if you had a dud like that.
I moved up and I've still got Gack.
Is he not going anywhere?
He played 5 minutes and scored 8 points in the first game, and was good in those minutes.
He's scoring absolutely gack all, I say.
So where does hold on, where's this bloke, Richard?
Richard, he's 74th overall. If you want to have
This is what I'm saying.
I'll just go over the fixture quickly because I had a couple of people ask about that. So I'll just give you the next 3 weeks. So there's lots of doubles this week, barely any doubles the next week. And then the following week is also quite challenging. So this week we got doubles for everyone except for Adelaide and Melbourne. Next week we got singles for everyone except for Adelaide and Cairns. And then Cairns' schedule drops off. And then the week after that, oh, look out, the dog's going berserk out there. I've made a slight error on this, so just give me a second for that one. The week after that, we've only got Melbourne and Sydney.
As doubles. That's so Cairns lose theirs. And so you're best to keep your Melbourne and your Sydney players.
Melbourne players, Barry.
Yeah, it's tough. I still feel like they scored I don't know. I feel like the 2 players that I have, I kind of like the idea of don't trade them out if you're not going to lose money off them. I think they stay. One game stuff. But I think Travers and JLA can still get decent enough scores that can warrant 1 game's okay.
I just had a look at Mr.
So you got single double Melbourne.
Richie's team then. 74th overall. He's got 6 Cairns players at the moment.
Yeah, right. So he's going to have to do a fair bit of work over the next couple of weeks, Richard.
Because
that's all right. I'll give him a buzz. I'll help him out. Might go visit him at the coffee shop. What actually?
Now, Baz, what bottom outs have we got for this week?
Oh, mate, you've put me on the spot. No, I've already
mentioned your segment.
I thought it was a question.
Righto. Do you want me to throw some names at you?
Sobey, I think's bottomed out. I think that he's on the way up. I think Trey Kell was another one on the way up, and I think Finn Delaney was another one.
Yeah.
There's not really anyone in that high price bracket that I think's bottomed out yet. Jordan Crawford, we think that he's going to go down. DJ Hogue is an interesting option. The commentators were pleading for Jalen Galloway to play over Hogue, which they're just absolutely dreaming. Hogue is going to have a big week. Not really too many. Maybe Milton Doyle's got another week or 2. I reckon he'll be a pretty nice price in a week or so.
Their draw's great though.
Pardon?
Their draw's not great after this week, has he?
Yeah, makes it tricky. Outside of that, maybe J-Rob. Don't trust him. Yeah, that's about it.
Right.
The one
I'm going to give you some names, and I want your top 3 buys out of these guys. Listen
Okay.
carefully. Ben Eyre, Tyler Harvey, Sam Meninga, Trey Kell, Isaac Humphries, DJ Sillybeach, Nick Marshall, Rubbers, Finn, and Huck.
I like your Huck pick. But obviously,
Single double.
yeah, it's not favourable for me. I can't have JLA and both hook Porty, but I think there's probably a bit of cash to be made with him, especially if he's healthy at the moment, which is good. Ben Eyre, he's an interesting one. I thought he'd have a ripping break even. I thought he'd be looking at 1 in the negatives. He's got a break even of 11, so you'd assume that he's probably still going to hit that. He might go up maybe 20K max. Sam Meninga, good centre backup. He probably would have been the pick over Mango Tango. Isaac Humphries, we've already spoke about. I like the DJ pick, but he is a high turnover guy, and turnovers just kill your score, regardless of what else you do. I like the Finn Delaney pick, and I wouldn't argue if you traded him in. And rub your tummy. I'd choose probably Finn Delaney over him. Because something about next stars, they always seem to go hot and then drop off the cliff for a next little bit.
Yeah. So you like Huck, you like Finn, and you like Sillybeach.
Yeah. It's
Right.
hard though. There's such a price gap between all of them that you're not tossing up between Ben Eyre and the Sillybeach. Like they're just too far away in the price differences. If you're looking at Ben Eyre, you're more tossing up between your Finn Delaney's. He's literally the only one in that price bracket.
So out of that, Meninga's the only one that's got 2 doubles in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's centre only though.
Yeah.
But can we trust him?
No, probably not. I did a little bit of math around this. So he's had 4 scores above 20 and he averages 11. 2 of those scores were against New Zealand. So when I look at averages, I always take out the top and the bottom couple of averages. I think that gives a bit better picture because you obviously got a couple of shit games and a couple of real good games there. And it dropped his average down to 7. So you probably can't trust him. He's got a break even of -10, Baz.
Yep, -10.
Yep. So if he gets that average of 7, 2 games this week, he'll go up about 24 grand.
So is this Meninga?
Yeah.
He was really good last week.
Mhm.
He was really, really good.
You know why he's been pretty good lately, don't you?
Who?
He's been in the weight room with muscles.
Not lifting anything.
No, just hanging around. Righto. Darey. Had a question around players to sell.
Right, fire some names at me.
Got some names for you. Give me a top 3. We've spoken about Cairns a bit, but Miller, Clintman, Tarrant, Berger, Magnate, Creek, J-Rob.
J-Rob number 1.
Yeah.
If he's not going to be in the rotation, if he's not going to be a big part of the offense, I can't see where his scores are coming from. So I'd be pretty quick to jump off that ship. Obviously Creek now because of the injury, but would have been nice if that didn't happen because on the back-to-back double, consistent scorer, but you have to get rid of him now. And I would probably say out of that Cairns lineup, I would probably say Miller is the one that would probably be just because of his price and all the guards that have got doubles this week and coming up. You like Baz said before, if you want to probably get Adams, this is the week. Otherwise, you might have to miss out on that one. So I'm deciding to probably take the punt and miss out on that one. But I've gone Galloway instead.
Yeah, I was the same as you. Yeah. So J-Rob, Craig, Miller.
Yeah, I think Taryn still has. I think Taryn still has a lot to offer as far as going up in price.
Baz said he'd get to 170. He's at 158.
Especially if he scored 15 points last week. If he can keep doing that and looking good with the bench, I think he's still got a bit to go. Berger's another one that's just ultra consistent without being spectacular. He had a pretty good week this week.
Yeah, of course he did. I'll trade him out.
The old Berg. So, yeah, Cairns. I'm looking to get off everyone except McCall. I think McCall's their best player fantasy wise.
Well, I think McCall stays. I think even with the hard thing is McCall has so much money, that 438, and like that is so much money, and it's too much money to have in a one. His break even's 92, it's bloody sky high.
Mills is 91.
Yeah, he's a hard one because there's so much money to have on your bench for one game. But I don't know, he can rotate guard and forward. It gives you a bit of flexibility there.
Yeah, but that's the thing with McCall. McCall, I reckon he's a legitimate anytime 50. I reckon any game 50. He's that good.
Yeah, I reckon I might go Miller out next week.
I think you can probably keep McCall with that schedule. You said he's a 50, a good player for 50. When they have when a heap of teams have the single, the only ones are Sydney and Melbourne. So your players that are going to outscore him there's JLA, Travers, Ho, Adams, Galloway.
Probably not if I've got.
That probably it.
Yeah, there's not many.
No.
And then the week after, you're looking at.
He's not nothing response to it.
Yeah, but that might mean you might hold him another week. But
yeah, well, that's probably a discussion for next week. Right, we'll leave it there. Send any questions throughout the week. I'll still get quite a few come through the week about trades and stuff, which is good to help some people out with there. And most of those people are beating me. So
see he's in the top.
Give it up.
See he's in the top 250.
See you in the top 1,000 next week.
And see you guys in the top 50 for the round. 1 week at a time, boys.
See ya.
Ta-ta.